Hey guys, it's Ange with Steel City Scented. I'm back for Fragrance Freestyle Round 2 this morning, and we'll talk about what I'm wearing on my right to complement the black sea that I have on my left. So this is called Oakmoss Oud Attar, and it is from ScentsbySkanda. So we'll talk about briefly the house, the notes, where I'd wear this, and then just some general kick it. So ScentsbySkanda is a house actually out of Massachusetts, and the perfumer is a guy called Justin. Similar in personality to Jake Smoke that I mentioned from Ash and Fume. He is such an engaging perfumer. So one thing I really love about artisanal perfumers, that I'm finding anyways in my interactions, they really strive to have their fragrance community, I wouldn't say they're customers, right? So they're not friends for the most part, right? Because I guess you could consider them friends. But I think that as for the most part, they want to have the customers that they serve really be informed about the choices they're making. So in their selections of perfumes, the notes, the reasons, the rationale, I think that's one thing really, again, that artisanal perfumers like. They love that interaction. And both Jake that I mentioned this morning and Justin really strive to be open, communicative, answer questions, help people out, help make good choices. And Justin's been so communicative about like, hey, I want to smell something with iris or Divana or patchouli or leather. What do you have in your collection that will really help me get there? And he'll say, okay, here's X, Y, and Z, walk me through what would be happening and the reasons why. So I really just appreciate that about Justin, as because he's busy, right? They don't have a ton of free time. Most of them have second jobs, families, other commitments. So the fact that Justin takes time out of his day to really answer my plethora of questions that I've thrown at him, I really appreciate. But back to the house. So there's not really much about the house history, but he says his story on his website anyways, which is Scents, SCENTS by Skanda, SKANDA.com, says, our story. That Scents by Skanda, our inspiration emanates from East Asia. We strive to deliver the highest quality and array of oils, bringing culture directly to you. So he sources ouds that are distilled, blends them himself, makes them into Attars, mucalats, perfumes. He has incense, various facets on his website. So go check it out. The one thing I like about him, when I was getting into Attars and mucalats, I said, hey dude, I really don't know where to start. What do you want me to do? And he said, go order my sample set. So I did and smelled all of them. And then he gave him probably an interrogation type questions about where does the oud come from, why does it smell like this, etc. So again, just that communication was really helpful at helping me understand different types of ouds, why they're used, what they smell like, etc. So shout out again. But on to this Oakmoss, and why did I choose it? So it's so great. Okay, so on Parfumo, which is the only place I can really find a note breakdown, on Parfumo, ScentsbySkanda has 6 or 7 pages of offerings. So on Instagram, his handle's at ScentsbySkanda. I would check with him if you find one on Parfumo that you want to explore, just to see if it's still in production. A majority of them are, but some of them aren't. But this Oakmoss Oud Attar, I don't know when it was released. The notes are 4 things: labdanum, oakmoss, sandalwood, and Thai oud. So keep in mind, a lot of people think that all oud smells like shit. They think, oud, oh my god, so fecal, so terrible, so animalic, I'm just gonna barf the whole time, I can't smell it, and that's not really the case at all. So if you're thinking ouds that are animalic per se, it's usually Chinese oud, Hindi oud, Laotian oud, and Malaysian oud. But a longer discussion about oud can be had with people that are way more knowledgeable about that with me, because the distillation methods, the terroir, which just means the territory of them, really how they were prepared, packaged, stored, etc. Those, and if they're not full of other adulterants, can all play an impact of how animalic something is, right? So if you avoid those 4 Chinese, Hindi, Laotian, Malaysian ouds, if you don't want something super animalic, you have a whole other palette of over 15 types of ouds you can explore, right? So let's get into the notes of this Oakmoss Oud Attar. So again, back to, so it's labdanum, oakmoss, sandalwood, and Thai oud. So Thai oud, again, is something that's not going to be insanely animalic, right? It can be fruity, it can be sweet, and it is all of those things, right? So when I put this on my skin, I overdosed, obviously. I'm trying to get more tan. I'm so white. So, and if you haven't ever applied Attars, there's normally different ways you can do it, but some socially accepted ways. If you ever watch Russian Adam apply an Attar, homeboy takes this applicator, right? So they come like this. Pull it out very carefully. Wiggle it. I scrape on the sides just because I've been known to glob and it can stain your clothes. So keep in mind, this is pretty pigmented. So if you're going to throw on some very beautiful sheer white linens or something that's light, I wouldn't recommend wearing this per se, because, or any really type of Attar per se, or any type of highly pigmented fragrance, because you might regret it. You are supposed to apply this on your wrist here, and then you can't apply in the back of your hand, like I overdosed, but some people really take their arms and they're just like bathing in it. You can, and you will smell the shit all day. But I'm going to put my sleeve back down, and now it's going to smell, my sweatshirt will smell for weeks of this stuff. But what do I get? So immediately, it's very beautiful labdanum. I don't know what kind of sandalwood he's using, honestly. I would assume it's Mysore because it's very beautiful and smooth. It's not like Santal 33 pickle up my nose sandalwood. The Oakmoss, again, is why I chose to complement the Black Sea, because they're playing really beautifully together. And then this really just, again, this Taiyu, but it's not, with Attars and Macaulay's, it's because the way they're blended, if they're blended well, you generally get a sphere of notes coming across at one time. It's not like, oh, here is the labdanum in the beginning, then here's the Oakmoss in the middle, then here's the sandalwood and Taiyu. It's not like a time-release medication, right, where it's like, here's the first one, oh, 30 minutes later, here's the second one. It's really, it's so unique and so beautiful. So I haven't smelled another Attar that smells like this that I have, and I have probably 50 of them at the moment. So I'll have to do a video where I pull some of my favorites and explain why. But it's just so great. Like, it's, and the thing about Attars and Macaulay's, they sit close to your skin, right? You're not going to have this huge projection bubble, crazy beast mode type of trail with this, at least that I've experienced. When I walk from room to room, I'm not coming back in and smelling an Attar or Macaulay's. That can be the case for other perfumes, but that's just not the case. These are meant to really be enjoyed for you. So yeah, love yourself. Get yourself an Attar or Macaulay's. Anyway, where would I wear this? So I honestly wear these, again, I have so many from him and they're all great. At home all the time. I wear them out all the time. I wore one that he has, an Iris Gallia, that I have to talk about, that I like better than some other much larger named Iris Gallias. I wore that out with my friends for brunch last weekend, and I made them all smell it, right? And they were impressed, actually. They don't really know what they're talking about, but they were really impressed. So, again, feel like if you applied it appropriately, it's probably not overdosing like that, but perhaps on your wrist, you can smell it from here, even here, but again, much farther than that. Well, yeah, I can, but I'm not really sensitized to it. So anyway, comparable, I don't know anything that's comparable. So someone will probably correct me and say, hey, X, Y, and Z has something that has these 4 notes. So please let me know. But again, just a house to explore if you want to get into Attar's, Macaulay's, or perfumes. He has a lot of perfumes too, one of which is my favorite that I have to talk about. This is called Patchouli Shifra. And it is patchouli and a shifra, an animalic, and it is, also, I think I have 4 bottles of this stuff. I was consider going to gift one of them to a friend of mine, and then I said, I'll just give you a decant instead, so I make sure I have enough. But the color is just absolutely gorgeous at this one, too. So, I know I'm babbling, I'm sorry, I apologize. But again, just consider checking out Justin, his website. Hit him up on Instagram if you have any questions about really ouds, why they're used, the difference in smells, all of those things. I will talk to you guys later, guys. Have a great day. Take care. Stay safe. Keep taking care of yourself and others that you love. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.